Naruto has to happen.
I like that answer. Okay. Here we'll go on to this next thing. So rewrite number 5 is this video, of which I'm going to have to share my screen in a way that you can hear my sound. In fact, what I need to do is I need to open the video and then share the Chrome tab. So, Kamui, you remember everyone's fellow friend, HotBoy Spicy, the one that adamantly disagrees with me on pain.
On everything?
Yeah. The one who joins expecting to disagree.
Oh yeah, that was the work.
Yeah. Okay. This is through 1155. I'm assuming. Okay, 686. Where's okay. Okay. No. Opens. Okay, that works. We will switch it to this tab. Okay. 1126 to 1155. So again, he disagrees with me on pain. He's gonna say something in this video that I'm sure he believes in, but unintentionally, actually, completely agrees with my side and not his side. Even though I'm sure he would argue, oh, it actually is my... No. So, Kamui, are you ready to listen?
Yeah, you got that from me.
Okay. Anyways, let's react to this video for the next, 30 seconds.
One can easily walk a road labeled peace and reach a dead end called war. The actions themselves don't capture the individual's will.
Do I just have this turned down low?
Okay, I guess I will replay it. That's fine.
It sounds fine on my end.
Okay, cool.
Okay. No, I had this down from
the
our,
movie.
Yeah. Can you redo that though? Because I did not hear any of it.
I got you.
With an answer ever so elusive, one can easily walk a road labeled peace and reach a dead end called war.
So, okay, we'll just break this down line by line. So what about that right there? First of all, I think right there is exactly what would have naturally spawned from the pain arc. Naruto could so easily walk the road labeled peace because Jiraiya is believing in me. Despite having no answer, he's believing in me to find an answer. And whatever goofball, nonsense, ridiculous delusion Naruto comes up with after the pain arc, since everyone believed him, it's just gonna lead to war anyways. Because it's wrong and bad.
You only say that because you don't believe in Naruto.
Yeah. You
don't believe in Naruto.
If you believed in Naruto, then you would believe that he would do it.
Now, what if Naruto doesn't do it despite my belief? Just because I believe in something doesn't mean it's gonna happen.
But Oodie.
Yeah, but believing in him is the important part.
I feel like the point of believing in something is because it's less likely to happen. That's what the hope matters. That's why it matters. Because otherwise, I would just think it's going to happen rather than believe it will.
I don't know. It's just religion. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sounding a real blasphemous to those Christians, right?
Just believe.
Anyways, we'll get to the next line here.
You just gotta believe in yourself, just like in SpongeBob, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
Believe.
Just like Parappa the Rappa.
Okay.
The actions themselves don't capture the individual's will, because the will does not necessarily dictate action and reaction.
Thoughts?
I'm not gonna lie. I am still doing this Obito edit. I just feel like HotBoy's videos are not for me.
Do you need me to replay it? Because again, that is a crazy line he just dropped. But here, I'll replay it just anyways.
Yeah.
Labeled peace and reach a dead end called war. The actions themselves don't capture the individual's will, because the will does not necessarily dictate action and reaction.
So what he's saying there is just because Naruto wants to do something doesn't mean he actually will do something. Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, Naruto thinks he's going towards a path towards peace, but his actions might actually, objectively rather than subjectively what Naruto thinks, they might actually lead to war. Because he's just doing the wrong thing.
I mean, yeah, he's gonna have to go kill God. And Kaguya. That's where he's going.
Yeah.
Naruto can say he wants to achieve what Jiraiya could not, can look like he has all the tools to achieve it with power surpassing his masters before him, but prowess and idealism alone does not solve issues.
That's exactly my problem. Like, he's saying that like it's some big brain thing that's somehow going to disagree. That's like exactly my point. Prowess and idealism alone don't solve issues. And the problem is that's the answer in the Pain arc. Naruto's prowess and idealism alone. And that works for other arcs, but not for the Pain arc. Where there's issues that can't be solved with prowess and idealism. Unlike other arcs, where there are issues that can and are solved by prowess and idealism alone. This arc is not one of them.
Again, though, Oodie, if you have an issue with the overall story of Naruto and its themes, that's one thing. I don't think this is a Pain arc specific thing though, because that is the story of Naruto.
He's literally showing the scene.
This is a story where you're gonna solve problems by punching them.
He's showing the scene.
Someone deciding not, or someone giving up and deciding not to punch them.
Like Naruto has the book in his hand. Nagato's right there. Of all the scenes he could have edited in, what are the odds? And you can't just default back to that answer, Kamui.
What?
Oh, if you have a problem with the whole overarching story, blah. No, Kamui, I don't have a problem with not giving up being a theme. It just doesn't always work. It doesn't work in this case as the only thing.
Well, it doesn't work in this
case, though.
It doesn't work in this case for you.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And also,
I think it's fine.
Half jokingly, half serious. You don't like the story of Naruto to an extent because we've already had this discussion. You remember with that reaction?
Whatever. It's ridiculous. It's a nonsensical is what it is.
I just don't think you need to nail it down like that. Like,
well, how about a compromise? Naruto can, through not giving up and through his prowess and idealism, eventually come to an answer. Why? Based on what Jiraiya told him and his experience throughout the story. Like, okay,
I'm not gonna argue that the end of this arc is fucking perfect. Like,
Kamui.
It's kind of unsatisfying. I mostly agree with him.
Oh my god.
I basically completely agree with him, actually. I would say. I just don't think you have to frame it as adversarial as you are. Like,
well, to be fair, I'm mostly doing that as the bit to be against Kamui. Like, this isn't blasphemous ruining Naruto. Alright, it's fine.
Yeah.
Again, the first time I watched it, I thought it was good. So.
No, he admitted it.
There you go. You got him. You're got.
Oh god.
You were trying to get us. Now you've got. You've admitted it. Admitted your weakness.
Okay, I guess I have to just double down the whole way through.
That's
Oodie,
look. That's how you win internet arguments.
No,
never give up.
Can't be.
Yeah, never give. So, in all honesty, my complaint is really Boruto era in relation to yours. Is I don't think Naruto should have just come up with some specific answer here, but by the Boruto era where he has freaking Shikamaru as his advisor. There's no excuse for the Rain Village just being untouched in shambles in that anime episode.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
there's no
hey,
excuse
did you know that?
Oh, I agree.
First of all,
I agree with that.
Yeah. The Rain Village literally gone, leveled. It's leveled. It's not there anymore.
Yeah,
it's destroyed.
Like, there's no excuse for that. They should have never. I don't know what. I don't. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Because it's a forever property now. It just the thing has to keep going.
Yeah.
It's not in the manga. I don't believe it's in one of those like the thing you were showing me the other day, Oodie, about like the ninja tools or whatever whatever those things are. They're not data book scans.
Yeah, but the Shinobi hidden columns.
I don't think it's in there either. I think it is anime only. And my God, I don't know whose idea it was. But they shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
If anything, the Rain Village thing should have been showing us how amazing the Rain Village is now. And Naruto kept this. Why did they do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Hank, there has been another side of this that I haven't brought up that has always been there since the very beginning. One of the initial solutions that I brought to the table when me and Kamui first had this discussion, the way to solve this. So, the answer Naruto comes to here is, again, not just from Jiraiya, but from his experience, which has been gathered throughout the entire story. So, first of all, it's going to fail, but then he's going to overcome it here. So, when Naruto gives no answer, I've extended that scene to where Naruto, just like how he was against Dater, he's being so noisy, he's trying to clap back because he doesn't want to fail here, he doesn't want to feel defeated, so he's trying to lash out against Naruto saying, no, you're wrong, look at everything I have done up to this point. So he's gonna basically recap the story, give basically fan service to us, recalling back on cool events. Pain, if you want to say the point, it'd be Pain. Because of me, I created the Great Naruto Bridge. He's not going to say exactly like that, but you get the idea. Because of me, I've changed Neji. I'll reform the Hyuga. Because of me, I saved Gaara. Etc., etc. So the reason Naruto's going to feel defeated here at this midpoint of this arc is because Nagato is going to respond to that and say, you think that's what happened, but Naruto, prowess and idealism alone do not solve issues because what you think happened isn't actually what happened because it's told you to achieve the power, it did not necessarily dictate action and reaction, Naruto. Yeah, they themselves don't capture the individual's will, is what he's going to say. Because what he's actually going to say is in response to all that, he's going to respond to each specific point that Naruto specifically brings up and tell him where Naruto's wrong. Actually, Naruto, because of that Great Naruto Bridge, someone like Gato came in and filled the power vacuum, and the Land of Waves is actually worse off ever before than it would have been if you didn't do that. Oh, actually, the Hyuga. Oh, you mean the Hyuga I wiped out? Oh, Gaara, you mean the Jinchuriki we captured and killed? Yeah. Oh, what about Sasuke? Sasuke got away, etc., etc. Like the Tenchi Bridge was destroyed. Like there's so many things to clap back against him with.
Hey, real quick. I want to minimize any of my things until Hank goes first, but the Tenchi Bridge was destroyed.
I don't know. I'm just trying to list something there.
Like, nothing.
You get my point, though. You get the point. I feel like the Land of Waves would be the most obvious, like, addition. That'd be the most impactful. But the other ones are still working. I think mentioning Sasuke as well. Whatever. Okay.
All right, Oodie. I give you. Here's my compromise.
Mm-hmm. Killed Haku again.
In the abridged. I was gonna say, but Naruto, the Tenchi Bridge was destroyed. And Naruto's gonna lose it. I'd be like, oh, I don't have an answer for that. Write it down, please. Write it down right now. If you need me to write it down,
please write it down. Yeah. Okay, Hank, regardless of Kamui's ridiculousness, what do you think about this idea in general to add on to Pain's cycle of hatred speech? Naruto isn't just going to immediately give up. He's going to try and clap back and give things that he has done. And Nagato is going to inform him of stuff that he didn't know, of why he's actually led to things being worse off in the long run, even if they were better in the short run, which is Pain's whole point. His whole point is that it's going to be worse in the short run, but in the long run, people are going to adapt to it for longer periods of peace, which is Pain's answer.
Yeah, but the point of Naruto is not like winning the argument with the analytical facts. It's about being open and it's about emotionality and being open and earnest and striving.
I agree, but
that's
then,
the thing.
Then the problem here shouldn't be this, because I'm just trying to fix the story the way it wrongly already is. If this is the case, Nagato never should have had a cycle of hatred speech. Nagato should have told Naruto before Naruto had no answer. He should be like, yeah, my dog died. Yeah, Yahiko, he died, and I'm sad about it. I'm an orphan, Naruto. Like, he should have been saying that instead of the cycle of hatred speech in the first place.
Well, here's how I would fix it is just rewrite Nagato's character and make it more clear that of how he was like Naruto and then like lost that way in a way that is more emotionally available, so that you feel that more like coming together moment works better. But Nagato is kind of like a flat character, so it doesn't you don't fully get there.
Yeah.
But partially also because it's like not Naruto, it's I forget his teammate, the one that was actually like Naruto that died. That's one of the pain bodies. I forget his name.
Yahiko?
Oh, Yahiko.
Yeah. Part of the problem is Nagato seeing Yahiko in Naruto, not even himself. Like,
Yeah.
Well, both of them, but
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But
And
I think it needs to. I think that moment needs to be working on an emotional level. If you're rewriting it.
Exactly.
I don't think making it about an argument that Naruto wins is like the move.
That's fine.
I'll
Again,
also
that's the way to fix it then, if that's your way of fixing it. I'm just trying to fix it in the way that it already is, rather than changing the way it already is. That being said, I want to add on to this. Kamui, I know that you were saying that you agree. Before you get to that, I want to say, this can work the way it is if you sort of shift the framing to where Nagato, the whole point is that he's given up on his hope in humanity, and Naruto restores that. You can have pain give a cycle of hatred speech and all that. If it's not presented from the logical, actually analytical argument, debate perspective of the philosophy, ideology of the world and geopolitical blah blah blah, instead have that be more clearly, have it be the focus, I should say, have it be the focus that is Nagato's mask, that he's like deluding himself into that, and that's clearly obviously wrong from the beginning, but it's his answer based on his pain rather than his actual legitimate answer that can fix the world in a way.
Okay, now I have an additional thing.
Okay, go ahead.
First, what you just said is how it is already.
I knew you were gonna say that, which is why I'm saying make it the focus, not make it clear, make it the focus. Because right now it's presented as an actual answer.
It just should be a little better. It's okay. It just should be a little better.
So, addressing that first, it's not the focus in that scene, but retroactively, it's the focus because of the tree scene. Do you agree or disagree with that?
It's the reason Nagato came up with the answer, but the focus is on the answer, not on Nagato. It doesn't matter who does the answer. It's similar with Obito.
Yes, but it's because the problem is, I'm sure that you can make the same cases with a lot of other scenes when people have a narrative mask, and at the time that it's said, the focus isn't the fact that they have a narrative mask, but by the end of the arc, you look back and say, yeah, that was a narrative mask.
Okay. Now, okay.
Sure, you can
before I say this, because I know you're immediately going to disagree, I would say Obito is a much better person for us to even have this conversation with in the first place. You're going to disagree because I think that Obito is presenting legitimate points, but the reason Obito has those points in the first place isn't because Obito just thought of the points of analytical of how to save the... It's because it's Obito and because of Obito's trauma. But I don't think Obito's deluding himself into thinking that
Obito's
he's
is less analytical.
I disagree.
More emotional.
It depends on your perspective, I suppose, but either way.
Sure. I mean, there's an argument for either one in either case, but what I was going to say earlier, though, is I do think there is a place for Nagato's thing, because a couple of things. First off, to an extent, I think Kishimoto's point is, yeah, you can make all these logical arguments for why humanity sucks, blah, blah, this world's trash, blah, 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 but at the end of the day, you do need to have faith that, like, these good things you're trying to do can be done, and you need to not just give up on them. Even if it looks bad, don't just give up. So what's Nagato, like you said, Nagato gave up on his humanity, right? So he says a lot of things indicative of that. First of all, speaks of himself as God and how humans are lesser. Humans are not the most intelligent of creatures. This is the only way we can blah blah blah. He's treating them like kind of like robots that, I mean, granted, I guess in the Naruto work, they kind of are like sheep that just do whatever, but like ignoring that aspect, he's treating them like they're just not really human. Like they're automated to just do revenge. So we're just gonna like outsmart the AI system. That is kind of how he's like treating them to an extent. It's a not very humanitarian look at humans. So you can argue that for those terms, it does work very well for him to give such a speech. Obviously, the third perspective, something convincing to make Naruto doubt himself as well. From those three perspectives, I would say it fits.
Okay. To address that, so Obito and Nagato are different in some regards. So I completely agree that Nagato gave up on his humanity, but he didn't give up on trying to change the world. I should say even save the world. He never gave up on that, at least until the very end when he entrusted it in Naruto. In which case, if you're going to argue Jiraiya, then Nagato never gave up on that.
Yeah, he never gave up on saving the world. He just gave up on the how, like the way he's going to do it.
Exactly.
But, yeah, he never gave up on changing the world. He just gave up on the humanity aspect.
Exactly. Which tells you that because he truly believed in changing the world, and because his idea of changing the world changed, it's because, not because he's deluded himself into thinking it's right when it's actually wrong and he actually believes that. It's because he actually does believe it. He's just saying that his previous self was naive and he realized that based on his new experience.
Yeah, but he doesn't, the problem is it is narrative mask because he doesn't actually, he's always, I mean, it is the narrative mask, like, that's how to frame this off the top of my head. I mean, I did do a little brief blurb of this in a video before, but like...
Well, he's naive in the moment where he thinks, because he thinks capturing the tailed beast is going to have one outcome that it's not going to have because it's all part of Madara's other plot.
Well, yeah, but we're taking that, like, outside of the bounds of this conversation, I feel, at that point, but you're technically right.
Yeah.
So, okay, here's my thing as well, is that we aren't really explicitly told this, but considering Pain and Madara, or Obito, whatever, have completely different ideas for the tailed beast anyways, like he's saying, this is a stark contrasting difference between, in my opinion, Nagato and Obito, because Madara is the one who gives Obito the idea of the infinite Tsukiyomi, and that's his answer for peace, and you could argue that's a delusion, whatever. I think Pain probably came up with his answer entirely on his own.
I agree.
Okay.
It's actually a small side note. It is weird. So this is the anime only, but in the anime, Obito says to Conan, "You approved of my Tsuki no Me plan, like why are you betraying me?" And Pain's plan was clearly not that, which implies that they were planning on betraying Obito at some point, like for sure.
Yeah.
But regardless of that,
I think that stuff is just unclear because we are not shown.
Yeah, or retcon, who knows? Either way, I think unclear is a benefit of the doubt. We could just do that. But anyways,
But in any case, though,
it's just not in the manga.
Yeah. I wish it was. That's one of those like what if fights. I just wish. Okay, so like it's completely random. Okay, I understand that it doesn't make any sense to like have this in the main story, but just like in the video game cutscene where Zabuza lives that you were talking about the other day, Oodie, I wish that all video games did this for every single one of these moments, but at least B, okay, this is so stupid, but like, you know, Kishimoto's doing these one shots and shit. I would love if he just did all the like fights that could have happened but never did. Like basically the what if. So like for example, what if Pain and Conan betrayed Obito? Like what would have gone down in that scene? Like all the what ifs you would come up with. I want Kishimoto to just have one shots for all the scenarios.
Yeah. Plus the video games are like literally 2 or 3 sentences long anyways. I'd like it to be at least a little longer.
Yeah, I want like the full, it doesn't have to be till the end of the series, but I want the conclusion of the like question, like, at least somewhat.
Oh, okay, going back to the Pain thing, so I don't forget. So one of the points I'm trying to get at here is because Nagato gave up on his humanity, but didn't give up on trying to save the world, not just change it, but to save it. Saving the world doesn't require humanity. Because Nagato was able to give up on it, but continue to pursue trying to save the world, it's not a requirement. He was able to do it regardless. It changed, you can argue it became worse, but he was still trying to do it, to save it. And he truly believed in himself.
Well, no, but here's the problem. It's not.
You're cutting out, Kamui?
Cast.
You cut out? What's the problem?
Can you hear me now?
Hopefully.
Yes, I heard that.
Okay.
So Nagato is a human, which
Yes.
means Nagato's beliefs are human beliefs, blah, blah, blah. If Nagato casts aside his humanity, he cannot, Nagato, the person, cannot believe in this truly. Because it's not being Nagato if he casts aside his humanity. So the real Nagato doesn't want to do this, doesn't believe, blah, blah, blah. He's the end of the arc Nagato, the one that believes in Jiraiya, blah, blah, blah. That's Nagato. So Nagato doesn't truly believe this. It's the narrative mask angle. Like,
and that's where we
off
disagree.
The top of my head, I have a beautiful way of saying this, but
so I disagree, because I don't think it's a real Nagato versus a fake Nagato. I think Nagato changed as a person.
See, I don't think that because of what they did in the Pain arc.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can argue
the ending
back.
wouldn't work. See,
Wow! How ironic, Kamui. You know, I agree. The ending wouldn't work.
No, but here's the problem, though. First of all, you wouldn't be able to say, oh, it's not actually like the worst thing. No. It would be the worst thing in the world, and it wouldn't make any sense if that was the case. And second, like, it would be worse than you're making it sound. Second, though, you wouldn't have the ability to say that because it's not like you Sasuke where you just watch him for the whole series. You don't know Nagato, like, beyond what you get in his flashbacks in the end of the arc where you know who Nagato is and what he believes in. Like,
it's clear that they were going for the idea that Nagato was naive and looking to Yahiko for the answers, and then Yahiko died, so we adopted Yahiko's things, but like the opposite of it. I mean, Nagato was always sort of like that anyways. Dark and moody and gloomy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the Sasuke of their group.
Yeah, so at the very least, Nagato definitely changed at the end. He was always evil.
not evil.
Not evil.
Whatever, you get my point.
Oh.
Well, the point I'm trying to get at is that clearly changing the world relies more on the fundamentals of the logicalness of it, not the humanity aspect of it. You don't need a human to change the world. You just need the world to be changed through actions, which doesn't require humanity. You could say the belief is required to get to the actions. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Or to believe that the actions would work in the first place. Well, first, I do think Nagato does believe his thing would have made the world better than what it was already at. I think the series is also trying to tell you that. Naruto's whole thing is that he doesn't want a better world, he wants the best world, despite it being risky, and that's why they should believe in him. To have the hope that Naruto can find the best outcome, no matter how unlikely or risky or dangerous it may be. He will walk that path straight forward without doubt or hesitation, despite the fact that he does have doubt or hesitation, but besides that.
Keep on struggling.
Yeah. So, there you go. Yeah, Nagato, again, at least came to an answer. Because Naruto didn't have an answer despite wanting to save the world and having humanity, sort of tells you something. Naruto just should have had an answer then. A better one from default. So he wanted both things. Nagato only had one.
I mean, he should have had a better answer by the end of the series too.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Anyways, let's keep playing the last
one of the
couple seconds.
like,
but yeah, ridiculous. So if we're listening to the video again, just to have this, making sure. Okay, I'll play it now.
Especially one as gargantuan as the world's gaping wound.
Yeah. So again, it's not just an issue, it's especially one as gargantuan as the world's gaping wound. The thing that we've been conflicting against the entire series. The point of the series, I'd argue, even more than Kamui's saying. Like, you need a problem for there to be a solution in the first place. Why do you need to never give up if the world's not a gaping wound? Yeah, exactly. Giving up didn't help Naruto win. It was everyone else. Kamui, if you're talking, I cannot hear you.
I'm not.
Okay. Maybe sure.
He's so powerful. He's grown so much.
Shout out Heather for subscribing. Thank you, Heather. Anyways.
And so many people have entrusted him with making the seemingly impossible possible. But even with all this going for him, he stumbles yet again after just finding footing on this long, arduous road. Nagato knew more than Naruto. He knew so much more, in fact, that he accurately predicted Naruto's fate before his demise.
So I'm sure we all agree with this, by the way, so far. Not that this is making one point one way or the other, just adding more context. But I think also just mentioning the fact that Nagato knew more than Naruto in general is also important. Who should change the world? Not the one that has the most faith in their humanity or believes in themselves. The one that has the most experience. Because it's those actions that require, like he was saying, not the belief in something, but the actuality of it.
War. The actions themselves don't capture the
themselves
individual's will, because the will does not necessarily dictate action
the problem
and
is
reaction.
Kishimoto disagrees. Because just think about the Gaara versus Onoki in the Five Kage Summit, for example. Clearly, it's not what he's going for.
Okay.
If anything, the people with experience are the more corrupt people.
Yeah.
A ridiculous theme, but sure. If that's the case, you could just argue Gaara has more experience.
That's not what they... No, but they
No.
say the opposite.
Well,
Yeah.
no, Onoki's ignorant and stubborn. Experience isn't just time, it's things you go through. Experience
And
leads to
Onoki's
emotional
gone through more.
maturity.
Naruto, experience leads to having trauma that leads you to make bad choices.
Oh yeah, there you go. Well, the point is, who should?
Like, it's a series of
be
people
trusted.
acting against other people because of things that were done that hurt them.
Yeah. Well, regardless of
And
Naruto,
continuing to hurt other people.
in the real world, I'm gonna go with the leader who knows how to lead best, not the one who thinks that they can lead best because they believe in themselves, but they actually have no experience of leading or anything.
Okay, well, shonen manga is not the same as the real world, it turns out.
Yeah, well, the shonen manga in the pain arc shouldn't make commentary on the real world. Do you see the disconnect here?
It's fine.
That's the problem. You cannot make
It has
commentary on
it has
our
it's
real
a hopeful,
world.
endearing
Talking about the
message for
Naruto world,
children,
it's the exact
okay?
opposite of our world.
Believe
apparently.
in your
It's not
friends.
a problem in the first place. Can't relate.
It's fine.
The whole
It's
point
not
is
a
the
problem. It's
relatability.
fine.
I think you're... I'm not gonna lie, Oodie. I think you're over-dramatizing the logical political scheme stuff. I mean, it's mostly about the cycle of hatred, not so much about the how the Leaf Village needed money, and so they went to war. It's less that than it is.
I'd say it's literally
Just
the
a
most
cycle.
iconic scene in Naruto, but whatever. Okay. So here's other commentary, I think, on the video. I'd be way more okay with a pain arc if Naruto's answer was more like, of course I hate you, and no, I don't know if I'll bring peace or change the world. I'm only human, but that's not gonna stop me from trying. I've been trying all along. I'm not gonna stop now, and maybe, one day, perhaps it might lead to a change. I'll fight for that chance.
That's basically his final answer.
That's not his final answer.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. His answer is infinitely better. Again, I agree. It's definitely leaning in on the hope in humanity aspect, but it includes my thing as well.
Oodie, say it again.
Of course I hate you, and no, I don't know if I'll bring peace or change the world. I'm only human, but that's not gonna stop me from trying. I've been trying all along. I'm not gonna stop now, and maybe one day, perhaps it might lead to a change. I'll fight for that chance.
Okay. So now let me just go find the chapter where he says exactly that, but ever so slightly differently.
Yeah, go ahead. And I'll continue on with this.
Or at least in the English dubbed anime.
Oh, whatever. So in the end,
it's basically word for word there.
Yeah. But here's the point, though. So in the end, it doesn't.
Can you
really...
put it on the screen too?
Oh, my bad.
So I can
Yeah.
easily.
Let's go to the entire screen.
Oh, I went too far.
Okay. So back to here. Yeah. So there's the quote. If you want to read it there. Anyways. So in the end, it doesn't really matter if Nagato approves of him or not. Same with Jiraiya. Regardless if they do or not, Naruto should have told Pain that he can understand others through pain because of how well he relates to and understands Sasuke because they bonded over the similarity of both being alone. And they didn't have to destroy anything to accomplish that. Unlike Pain, it only helped them and they became like family, so Naruto can do it, and Naruto sees Pain's point, but still thinks he's wrong because this isn't the way and is needless suffering. So he's taking the actuality of the thing he learned from Sasuke and applying it. He's applying the logic emotionally. And that works. Thoughts?
I just don't think it's meaningfully different than what is in
definitely different. Well, hey, if you don't think it's meaningfully different, then it's the same thing.
Meaningfully.
Therefore, might as well. That's commensalism right there.
Like I don't have the hang-ups about this bit
you.
that you do.
So there you go. Glad we agree. Should have been this way.
I mean, like, I just looked back at the at least in the manga. He says I still hate you. He doesn't say I don't know if I'll bring peace or change the world. Let's say he doesn't say that, but he definitely says the fact that he's been trying and he's not gonna stop. In that
he doesn't say of course.
He
also doesn't say I'm only human.
I know, but these are such
like
I said, it's basically the same thing, just slightly different. Like it's not like Hank just said, it's not meaningfully different. It's basically the same thing.
Okay. Well, my microphone is messing up, so I did not hear whatever thing you just said.
That would be your headphones and not your microphone.
Yeah. Same thing. Anyways.
So, like Hank just said for something else, it's not meaningfully different. It's 95% the same.
Okay, well, if it's the same, then there's no problem with it, right?
I'm not saying there's a problem.
Then it's
just saying that it's basically the same.
Okay, basically the same.
Look,
so then it's just as good. So we might as well do this one instead.
It's just a little weird how mad you are, or like how much you're getting hung up on this point when what you want to change is not that much.
Trust me, anyway. This is just me. It's not this, it's me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not Naruto. It's you.
Well, I'm glad we agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think like it's not a problem with the paid arc. You've gotten hung up
just
on
like that dialogue
weird
set.
on on like the minute details of the dialogue.
Yes, that's what we do here. We do that for
Sure,
everything.
and that's fine.
Trust me, me and Kamui would argue for 6 hours on Kabuto's left toenail if we could.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess to end it off,